It's definitely been interesting. It's been a lot more talking to people than I'm generally used to. I'm a quiet, closed kind of person, but it's been really good to kind of interact with the community, see what they have to say about the game, and iterate and make changes based on what they have to say, as opposed to just what I have to say. It was definitely an exercise. A lot of times, just an exercise in frustration, really. Like when you first start out with something, like I certainly didn't think that we had anything, honestly, and it took a lot of different people coming in and saying, don't let this stop, keep going, keep going. You have a lot of really interesting content, a lot of very funny jokes here, and that kind of thing. So it wasn't just a matter of this is done deal. We've got it. This is perfect. It's ideal. It was a lot of different things. So. We've actually had like 3, maybe 4 different iterations of this whole game. Like the core theme has always stayed the same. That was the part where we were always just like, Megalomania is the way to go. It's just, it's perfect. Like we never had any issues with it. The problem was kind of trying to deliver that sort of fantasy where, you're in charge, in control and stuff like that. Let's see, the one that we had that went the longest before we ended up cutting it and changing almost everything was a way in which basically everyone was fighting for super weapon dominance. It's like each player wanted to make one super weapon, and it ended up being everyone fighting for the same pieces and sort of like that. But that ended up being really buggy because it was a lot of who finds them first and that person gets ahead, and then they just sit and sneer at everybody else while they fall behind and farther and farther and farther. So eventually we completely jumped off that train and had to come up with an entirely new one. And that was grief and a half, but it was definitely a good decision in the end. There's a lot of ideas. It was interesting because a lot of the schemes that we have in the deck right now are hinged off the fact that I already have expansion ideas for them. So basically what we'll do as we go into expansions is kind of an alt-world sort of idea where it's like, oh, well, in this world, here's what happened in expansion 1, where this megalomaniac went a little bit overboard in this instance, and so, oh, spontaneously, there's the undead expansion, or something like that. So I've already got 3 ideas, kind of just loosely, and go figure, every time we get in a group, we always start talking food, and we have this random idea that's just floating out there for just a complete food expansion. And definitely we got the starving artist megalomaniac to go in there, so I don't know if that one will come to fruition, but yeah, we definitely have ideas for expansions, so not limited at all.